Hey YouTube, the other day I got a question about whether the sawdust on a Woodmizer sawmill where the chute came out, which is on this side, was a problem for me. And I knew that the sawdust came out on the operator's side because of watching videos and stuff before I ever bought the mill. And you can see that the way I set the mill up, I have it close on this side of the concrete, and I have a walkway on this side of the concrete. It's 7 feet wide, the concrete. Well, anyway, where you walk as you run the mill is from my finger over. You're pretty close to the mill while you're walking down through there. I don't kick any of the bunk parts or none of my cribbing, but I'm just saying you walk probably right about in here. And the sawdust gets thrown the top of the, let's say a pile, you know how it makes like a hump, is probably somewhere in here. So it's not that it's in your way while you're sawing until after you've sawed maybe about 5 logs. Then it starts to get a little bit high. But if you're young and sure-footed, you know, you shouldn't have a problem walking through that. I've put my time in working. So after I retired, you know, I mean, I'm in my 60s. A lot of people are in better shape than I am. I'm not in that bad a shape. But it's hard to walk, you know, through the sawdust. But it doesn't really bother you because you're walking where the sawdust is, just a thin layer of it ends up here, and most of it is over here, which is outside of, you know, where I'm walking to run the mill. Now, yes, I have to walk through it when I want to get over here to the kiln or whatever, but I just take a snow shovel and I just shovel the sawdust and throw it over in the side there. I got a lot of room here to get rid of sawdust, but at the same time I can pick that up with my backhoe. Once this is flattened up a little bit, I need to clean this up, and I want to raise this so that when I put the sides up on my building here, my little shed, that this is closed in sort of. So the sawdust I just throw over there. Someone also asked me what this was. This is just a piece of pipe driven into the ground, and it's handy to have the cant hook right there in the middle of the carriage so that I can grab it when I want to. I watch videos where, you know, guys are repeatedly throwing the cant hook down, and I was doing the same thing, and it gets to be a pain after a while because there's a lot of walking here to do with this manual mill. But anyway, in response to the sawdust, it doesn't seem to bother me as far as working. The only thing that bothers you is that you have to get rid of it. And it doesn't matter, you know, if they say why don't, the one guy had made a comment about why Woodmizer doesn't throw it out this side. I'll be honest with you, the way I have mine set up, I would not want the sawdust over here because I want to be able to move this carriage to throw the slabs and stuff off of the bed, and I can do that from this side. When I move this carriage a little closer to the sawmill, I can take the cutoffs and throw them over there without a problem. If I had the sawdust here, I wouldn't be able to move the carriage as easily, and I also would have to shovel it up more often so that I could, you know, walk without tripping. And you know, when you're working with a saw that can cut your freaking arm off in a heartbeat, you want to be careful that you have no tripping hazards. And I think that the idea of putting this on a concrete slab was a good one, and the height I have is good because when I'm working, now this is a small log here, but when I'm working here I can reach over very easily and do whatever I need to do. I can reach all the way down here without any real trouble to put the different parts of the dogs together. So to me, I'm still, and I hope that I don't make a glitch here, but the Woodmizer mill is working fine for me. I'm happy with the way it is. I've had no problems with it. The only problem I had there was with the saw blade, which was not Woodmizer's problem, it was my own problem. I do have a little thing on the blade that I'm going to try. I want to add something to the guide that guide the blade, but I'll make another video about that later if it works. Otherwise, I just wanted to show you. And also, I have worked construction all of my life, and I do not believe in having a mess. I don't believe that a man has to work in things that are messy. You know, it's bad enough that you do the labor work. You don't really have to have a freaking mess when you work somewhere. So I keep things pretty neat. What I do is, as soon as I'm done with this wood here, when I'm done cutting, I got 3 more red oak logs I want to cut up. And when I do that, I'll cut that stuff up into firewood lengths. Some of the stuff on this side right here I have to cut into smaller boards. But I'll cut it in fireplace lengths, and I've already got a buyer for it, and it'll be gone. I don't want scrap piled up all over the place. It's bad enough that I have my wheelbarrow here, and of course this is a piece of log. My grandson had got hit with a log on his foot and broke his little toe. He's fine though, but the thing is he wants to make a stool out of that thing, so I'm going to cut that off. But I try not to leave anything lay around that I don't have to, and that goes for like where my chickens are and where everything else is. Yeah, so as I was saying, I don't really think that it makes a difference which way the sawdust comes out. It depends on how you set it up and how you get rid of the waste. That's the problem, that you got to get rid of it. That's, you know, the only thing I see. But making a big mess and throwing stuff on a big pile just any which way doesn't help you, because when you go to clean it up, all you do is make things harder for you. And you can see, like, my bin there is empty. I have a couple boards laying on the ground because I usually throw stuff over that I can make kindling out of, and then I'll clean that up. I mean, I've been cutting for 3 months now, and there's nothing laying around other than what you're looking at there that I don't want here. On the other hand, you can see that I know it's hard to look through the, let me see if I can just open this for a second. You can see I started getting a lot more red oak in there. I have to get the kiln running again, but in Pennsylvania today it's really overcast and it keeps raining. Like, it'll rain for 5 minutes, the sun will come out, then it'll rain for 5 more minutes, the sun will come out. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to say today about the cutting. I'm still enjoying cutting this. I actually love freaking running this mill. I just have so much other work to do. I got to get my other work done. I got to get my truck back together. I've been avoiding it now for a couple months, and I need to get it back together. So as soon as I get the kiln here from where that is up to about this height, then I'll get back to working on some of my vehicles that I have to work on. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. Have a good one. Bye.